What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. I know how much you guys missed us, but we are finally back after a couple months. We took off from this YouTube journey and we realized how much we missed pressing record.
Click and record.
What it
Right? That was our
was,
first video, right? Just click
no, the
record.
first one was
Just click
um,
record or
just click record or something
yeah.
like that. Yeah. So, anyways, today we are excited to kind of reset for the new year. We are coming into the final days of January, and today we're kind of just reflecting on how 2025 went and what we're doing differently for 2026 to shape up our future and our goals that we have going on for this year. So, Adrian, if you want to kind of start off and let us know kind of what are you doing differently, I guess is the first question. What are you doing differently for 2026? And may have been something in 2025 that you learned that you're bringing on with you to 2026.
I know it sounds like a cliche, but 2025 revealed a lot of like what's m even more available to me in a sense of my own capacity, like how much better I can be. Um, so 2026, I feel like I'm getting more of shrinking things down to smaller time frames. I used to always get worried about like the goals or the oh my God, by this year, I want to do this, I want to be here. But I think it all comes down to the daily. So it's just doing more in your day. Because I think there's a lot of burn time that everybody has. I mean, we're human. I mean, there's some people that are just crazy, like Elon Musk, all them people that just like work insane hours. Every moment they're awake, they're working. That's why they are where they're at. But I think myself, I guess I can only speak for myself. I'm not that way. Like, I'll have some burn time that I just am not doing productive things. So it's like filling that with more productive and more, keep reaching the capacity bar so it could keep increasing and you can keep getting better. And I think just honestly, after a better me, I know it sounds very cliche, but that's just all it is.
Yeah. I do want to mention that even off camera, even off not recording YouTube videos, it's like we kept it going, right? We didn't always, at least I can speak for myself. I can definitely feel the same way as you. You know, there's days where there's gaps in between my days where I know I can be doing something more productive and I feel it because I'm just like, what am I doing? You know, whether that's
Yeah.
scrolling TikTok for 5, 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah.
I actually added the little on the settings where it's like if you're on an app for more than 15 minutes or whatever, it like
Yeah.
locks you out. So I intentionally added that because I felt like I was spending too much time on nonsense, right? Things that were not getting me to that ultimate goal on what I was working on. Especially when you're telling yourself you want something, right? If you put yourself if you create your 2026 goals, for example, start of the year, and, I'm over here watching TikToks on the, 29th, for example, of 2026, and those TikToks are not helping me to what my goals are, it's like, what do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, what are you doing? I
Yeah.
understand if if it's just that rot time, you could call it like that time where you're just like free time, right? And then right
Mhm.
back to it. I get that. But I definitely am a victim where I will fall onto doing it for longer than, I should be.
Yeah.
Uh, and I think, yeah, I would definitely add to that. I think I'm in the same boat as you. One of the sayings that I got, and I feel like I've said this before, it's like you can't pour from an empty cup, right? And what that means to me is if I want to become the best version of myself, again, very cliche, it does not matter. It's what it is. It's like I have to be able to create those. I have to become the person in order to take on what's out there for me,
Yeah.
right? Whether that's being a better brother, fiance, son, one day husband, right? Like one day dad, see those, right? Like there's things out there that I feel like if you don't become this person, it's tricky. It's challenging to then fulfill those shoes, you know?
Yeah. Dude, what you just said was awesome because it gave me so many like I love hearing you talk because my mind will go to all these different things that like based on what you're talking about. Like life being difficult to grow you to be that person are problems that get in the way of life or get into your life. But today in Tony Robbins's
Mm.
seminar, I don't know if anybody tuned in, I posted it on my Instagram, but he was talking about why do people think that life isn't supposed to be hard? Like it's supposed to be hard. You're supposed to have problems. Why do people think they're not supposed to have problems? Like that's what's in life to help us elevate to be that person that can take much more on. And then also another thought that kind of gave me, if I can remember, it kind of left my mind as I was talking there. Um, well, I was gonna say something else too. What were you? Can you remind me what you were just saying?
So I'm saying that you have to become the right person to then take on bigger and better things. Like you
Yeah,
can't pour from an empty cup. You have
that's
to,
exactly what I was looking for.
yeah.
One other thing that I realized is you can't pour from a dirty cup too, because you could be filled with water, but your foundation or your values or your morals or who you are as a person might not be clean. And and I'm guilty of this, and that's why I feel like I'm trying to improve in a lot of areas of my life because like that brain rot, right? That's not a good trait to pass along to somebody else. And I think that's why I also love that I got closer in like my faith because now I have an example of who to, strive to be like so that I
Mhm.
can be as clean as possible so that when I do create a certain like level of excellence in some arena or some capacity, then you can like share it with other people from a clean cup like you kind of talked about. So
Mhm.
that's what I kind of thought about when you were talking.
Definitely. I think that I'm actually very excited, that we are back to doing this because, I mean, regardless whether we record it or not, I mean, this is just our day to day. I guess I wouldn't say day to day between you and I, but our mind is always revolving around that one thing that we're looking for. And it's not always success in money, right? I feel like it always feels like at least we're talking about that, but it's almost like the success in who I want to become. That way, in 10 years, when I look back, it's like I did everything the way I was supposed to make myself proud. Like I want Adan, I want Adan 10 years from now to be like, wow, like you did everything you had to do to get to where you want to be. You made the mistakes, you screwed up. That's part of life, but you did and you tried, right? Like you worked on it and
Yeah.
I think that's probably it's really exciting. So, with that being said, I think
One thing before you move on, are you moving on to a different
no,
topic?
go no, you can go,
I was
you're
just gonna
good.
say it's cool because it's like a video game. Like life is like a video game, and it's like imagine you get a video game as important as your life, and there's levels to the video game, and then at one point you just settle for level 10. Like eventually you play the same level over and over. You're gonna get tired of the level. You want to unlock more of the map. You want to
That's a
unlock
great way of looking at it.
more of the game. You want to get to the last level.
Yeah.
Like if you're playing GTA, it doesn't matter if you have billions of dollars. If you don't get all the missions or whatever, I didn't play GTA that well, but I remember that. That's what came to mind. But just like unlocking the rest of it. And I feel like that's where we're at in life. Like people settle for the level that they're at when there's so much more levels to unlock. You just got to upgrade the character. You got to get
Yeah.
maybe stronger weaponry, or you got to get more ammo, or you got to
Yeah.
get, whatever it is, you upgrade the character and then you upgrade levels because the character got stronger. And I think in life, that's so addicting. Like, man, I get to maximize the player, which is me, like the life that I have, being the best version that I can. And I think that's pretty exciting.
I
So
like that. That's great. I'm glad you brought that up. The one thing the one thing that came to mind is like, do you remember when we used to play Kino or Talking Zombies? You
stop.
know,
I got top and bottom, bro.
so you know how it's like have you ever like do you remember those people that would not leave that room? Like they would want to keep like just
Yes, when they
training on
wouldn't
the
open the
same room.
door,
They
right?
wouldn't want to open the door,
Because
right?
they want the
So like
dogs in that level.
exactly. So
I
my
remember.
mind went to that. It's like you can't just be stuck in that same room. Like you got to
Yeah,
enter different rooms and
think about
explore,
it.
right?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Kino would be so lame, you couldn't even get Pack-a-Punch. You would have
That's
never
what I'm
unlocked
saying.
Pack-a-Punch.
That's what I'm
You would have
saying.
never
Like
turned on the power, bro. How you gonna stay in the same room?
exactly. So
Level up, bro.
it's
Level up.
funny. It's funny. It's like you can kind of tie different things and use the analogy for what life is. So
I agree.
definitely. So I would say for me is going to be that right there actually. For me, it's going to be I have to take massive action to become the person I need to become. And I think what I'll be doing with that is like being more intentional, with everything that I do. Just become the best leader as possible, right? Just finished up that book, 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership. Strongly recommend, strongly recommend.
So, Alan,
And
what is your definition of leadership?
for me, it's going to be lead by example.
Mm,
I think it's going to be lead like you I can't become the best leader possible if I don't show that I am a leader, right? Like it's like example, if I'm gonna go out and tell people, hey, running's good for you, this and that, I better be out there running. If not, it's like
yeah,
nobody's gonna believe you, nobody's gonna care what you have to say, right? So it's
yeah,
like become the person you need to become to then help and become that leader, if that makes sense.
yeah, it does. Yeah, that's fire.
So that's for me. That's definitely gonna be my 2026 goal is become, just grow into that leadership. And I think that ties more into, it doesn't have to be professionally, but also just like within your family, within your peers. Like it's I think it's one of the most powerful traits to have or skills to have, just leadership skills. Like they're just so powerful. And I think one of the most important things for me is that growing up, I didn't it was absent for me, right? Like because I was a quiet kid, shy kid. I feel like I wasn't that person. And it's like now that I'm like slowly becoming and getting more confident in that type of skill, the
Mhm.
leadership skill, it's like just powerful. It just feels so good, because with leadership comes a lot. I mean, you got the law of navigation where you have clarity on where you want to go, what you want to become, right?
Yeah,
You have the law of the MOGO, which is motion, right? Building momentum to create opportunities to where you want to go, right? Like there's just so many things, right? And in the book it says you cannot be the best at all. Like you cannot be great at all 21, right? It's gonna take you time to just build one by one. And I think building that is what's adventurous and what's is it makes me I'm excited to look forward to it, just building that alone.
yeah.
So
Dude, it's so cool. Because like as I'm listening to you talk, like you can tell you've been reading books. Like even if I was a stranger or someone who didn't know you, never seen you pick up a book in my life, just the way that you're talking, it's like that guy reads. That guy's, like, because that was fire. Like that was really heat. So I think
I appreciate
I don't
that.
know if you have anything else, but what I'm thinking to kind of end it up on is, um, what are action steps that someone can actually take? Someone's home right now saying, "Yeah, yeah, we get it, level up in life." What the heck does that mean? What do I do? So, what would
Read,
that look like to you?
read.
Read what? I'm trying to act like a viewer. Read what, Alan? What
That's a
would I
good one.
read?
That's a good one. Find something you like, look for authors that inspire you, role models, and then read what they've created.
Mm,
Ultimately, what you're doing is you're reading their biography. You're reading what they went through. So, I mean, you've told me this multiple times, and I've kind of got that from you, honestly. But, you're probably one of the main guys who inspired me to read just because it's what you do, right? Take notes, things like that. I have my own journal now that I have. So,
that's
whenever
awesome.
something interesting pops up, I like throw it in there,
Yeah,
you know? And
absolutely.
that's what it is. I think reading, I think it's very easy to be stuck in life. But I think the reading, not only is it not only do you gain focus, but you also gain perspective. And all it takes is one sentence from somebody to make up your own decision on your future. You know?
100%, bro. I
That's
think,
all it is. It's a sentence. I could be saying it in this video. Like it's a book, it's a sentence, it's an audio book, video. I mean, although I didn't, TikTok's not the best. It's just like you need that one driver, that one thing that's gonna be like, wow, like
yes.
time's up. I gotta stop letting this time tick. Like
Yeah.
I gotta get my shit going, like that's all you need. So it's like if you're just there sitting, on your For You page scrolling, if you don't see there's value there, you have to look elsewhere. And I strongly believe it's books. Like no matter what it is, If you're into construction, read construction. If you're into art, being an artist, read about artists. Read about, the famous famous painters, right? If you want to be into if you want to be a speaker one day, listen to Jim Rohn, listen to Tony Robbins, listen to these people who are putting that out there. So I think that's probably the number one thing that I would say. It's reading is one of the most powerful things that I've ever done in my life that has really changed my life. And I know damn well you can strongly vouch for that.
Dude, 100%. I think one thing that I was thinking about when you were saying that is what Tony Robbins was saying about today. The way you change your life is recognize patterns. You have to recognize patterns. And what Adan's talking about, reading books that people have written, you're able to listen, you're able to like jump into their mind. They wrote the books, you know, gave the motivational talk, they gave the seminar. You're literally looking into their lives. And what that's allowing you to do is study the patterns of someone who's successful because you can learn the patterns, repeat the patterns, and duplicate the result. So you have to understand like these books are the mind of the successful people. Now you have to take a look at their mind and notice which patterns are working. Because I can guarantee you, success principles are universal. So you look at a wide span of any industry, sport, profession, whatever it is, they went excellent in that arena. You can notice patterns that might tie to everybody. You implement them into your life changes. So it's like Alan's talking about replacing your mind and looking at successful people and duplicate what they did in whatever arena. That's why I wouldn't necessarily say read construction books in a sense of like, I don't know, maybe correct me if I'm wrong. I wouldn't read construction books in like a big textbook of just information because you can have all the information in your mind and not do anything, but study someone who was a construction
Yeah.
guy that created so much success and then do what he did. So if he did study, certain things, study whatever, like it's about investing into that to duplicate the pattern to then duplicate the result. So I don't know
That's
if
a
that
good
made
point.
sense.
That's a great point. I'm glad you brought that up because Jim Rohn does say not to read nonsense. Like if you're gonna read to learn to grow, don't read nonsense. Don't read drama books. Don't read books that are not gonna influence you in a positive way. A construction text, code book is kind of boring, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's not really much going on. So I do think that it's find the role model, find the person that you're looking up to. What have they built? Would you trade your life for what the life that person has and then read on? Like I feel like when it comes down to things like this, you have to be extremely intentional. Like it can't just be, like you really have to dig into it. You really have to just nerd out, go into the philosophy behind why. And yeah, it's very powerful. And reading has changed my life, bro. Right now I'm working on Build the Life You Want. I can't, it was by two authors. One of them is Oprah Winfrey, and the other one, I can't remember the name, but it's called Build the Life You Want. And in the book, it's a universal thing, but it's like one of the most things that I got from it is like stop worrying about what other people have to say. And it's one of those things that is like it's you probably heard it everywhere, right? But it's like it's just, how do I say it? It takes time, right? Like some of those things is just like you have to replicate. You have to repeat, practice it, practice it, practice it, you know. Um, but yeah, bro,
This was a great
that's
talk, bro. One of my
that's what I
favorite,
got.
actually. I really like the topic. So, any closing thoughts, or that's it?
No, I am all set.
Nice.
We've took the 2 month break, but we're back. We're excited. And
This is
yeah, if
season
anyone
two of
has
the show. So,
season two, that's
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. Absolutely.
That's it.
So,
So,
well, cool. Have a good night, bro. Pleasure to talk
all right,
to you
bro.
always, and we'll talk soon, all right?
Sounds good. Have
All
a good
right.
night.